If you're planning to apply for your UK study visa, then this video is definitely going to help you because I'm going to take you through the entire online application and explain everything in detail. So please note that you cannot begin your online application unless you have a CAS number from your university, which is a confirmation of acceptance of studies, which is a unique number that you need for your visa. Now I'm going to share my screen and take you through the online application, and this document is from the University of Huddersfield, but you can refer to any of the documents that are present online on Google. All you have to do is just search Tier 4 General Visa Online Application Guide. Now I have my laptop over here. So to get started, you just have to select Tier 4 General Student Visa and then select your location, which would be India or wherever you're applying from. Now, because they've selected China, they have like the application centers over here, but you will have application centers from India if you select that. And over here, you just have to select, I can go to an appointment at one of these application centers. Now, when you move on, you just have to click apply now and then enter your telephone number. Now, you can just say that while you use this while you're outside of the UK, and this is your mobile number. Then there's an option called I can be contacted by telephone call and text messages. Just select that, because if you select like I can be contacted by telephone call, then it will be like, why can't you be contacted via SMS, and you just have to write an explanation and everything. So instead of that, just select the first option. Then it asks you if you have a CAS number, where you have to select yes. And then you just have to enter your given name and your family name. Now this you have to enter exactly how it mentions on your passport. You can also mention any of the other names that you have. Then they will ask you your gender and your relationship status, which can be, you can just enter that. And then your address details. Now again, this you have to just enter exactly how it mentions in your passport to avoid any kind of delays. And when you enter your address, you just have to select how long have you been living over here. So for me, I entered my address and it was like I was living here for 22 years and I live with my family. And you can just select whatever your status is. If you want any kind of support, then all you need to do is just put in your details in the form that I've mentioned in the description, and Uniflick will help you because they have like a $4.99 package and they will guide you with everything, and you'll get that money back when you accept the offer from your university. Then you have to enter all your details regarding to your passport, which is the number, place of issue, issue date and expiry date. And then for identity card, I had included my Aadhaar card number. So you just have to select yes and include all the details. Then if you have any other nationality or citizenship, then you have to select all of the details and then your immigration status as well. Then the spoken language preference. So if they have to talk to you about your application, then which language would you prefer? Normally people would choose English. I had chosen English as well. So you can do that, or if you have if you want to choose a native language, you can. You have to declare if you have previously completed a course in the UK on a Tier 4 child visa. So for most cases, this will be no. And then English language assessment, which will be the IELTS that you write. So that would be the case. Then you have to mention any financial dependent on you. So if you're taking your husband or your wife or your children, then you just have to mention all the details and all the details about your dependent, and any other dependent you can add whoever's your dependent, 1 or 2. And then give your details about your first parent. So you can start by your father or your mother and then give your details about the other parent. And it's just like normal date of birth, country of nationality, have they always had the same nationality and stuff. Then you have to declare if any of your family is been living in the UK. So for example, if someone's sibling has been living in the UK, then you have to just mention that and the relationship and everything like that as well. Are you traveling as a part of an organized group? This would be in most cases no. Traveling with another person? if that would be like your dependent, your partner, your spouse, anything like that. And then where will you be staying in the UK? Now, when I submitted my application, I had my accommodation ready, and then I just entered all the accommodation details that I had, like my postcode and everything like that, and my accommodation plans. Now, you can mention if you don't have an accommodation prepared yet, then you can also basically just mention that I'll be staying over here, that those are my plans, but they are temporary, it's not been confirmed. And then all you have to over here mention is your travel history, which you will need your passport for. So if you have traveled anywhere before, say for like Paris or Turkey or Greece, then you have to mention all those all that travel history over here. And it's basically like self-explanatory, like date of visit, month, year, how long was your visit, and everything like that. Then if you have traveled to Australia, Canada, New Zealand, USA, Switzerland, or the European Economic Area, then you have just select whatever it is. Then world travel history, your planned travel information, so the date you plan to arrive in the UK. So I think for me, I had mentioned that, but maybe like you can just say over here, say if your course is going to start at the end of September, then you can just say like 1st of September. Because if you select the proper date, so for me, I traveled on 21st September, but if I had mentioned 21st September and the visa would have come like 19th September, it would have been really like panicky for me. Sometimes the visa might arrive later as well. So it's better to mention like 1st September or maybe an earlier date as well. And then your immigration history. So if you've been refused a visa, refused entry at the border, anything like that, which would be in most cases no. So you just have to select no over here. And what were the details exactly, then breach of immigration law. All these are basically like a criminal thing, so criminality. So over here you just basically have to say no, 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 no. War crimes, no. Terrorist activities, no. Extremist organizations and views, no. Person of a good character, no. Your employment history, so if you've been a part of these organizations, then you have to select a yes. And then your sponsorship license number and address. So this will be on your CAS letter that you will get from your university. You just have to mention the license number, address, town, city, postcode, and then place of study, which will be higher education institute. Primary site of study, which will be the address, that will be just yes. And then UCAS details. So if you have applied admission via the UCAS, which is the University and Colleges Admission Service, you have to select yes, but it's usually for the undergraduate students. And then the ATAS, which is the Academic Technology Approval Scheme. You can just say you can find out your like ATAS certificate if your university has that, and your CAS should confirm that. So if you need a permission, then you can just select yes and then enter your reference number. But in most cases, it will be no. And then your future official financial sponsor, where you have to select, will you be receiving money from an official financial sponsor for continuing your studies? In most cases, this will be no. But if yes, then you have to like select all of these things. Now comes the course information. So for me, I'd included the University of Lincoln, MSc in Digital Marketing as my course name. And qualification you will get, you have that as RQF7 SCQF11. And it basically means masters. Then comes the course dates. So when will your course start and when will it end, which will be in the offer letter, so you won't have any of the problems. And then accommodation payment. So if you have paid your any money into your accommodation, but please note that this is only for the university accommodations and not the private accommodations. So if you have planned to stay in a private accommodation, then just say no. Then comes the course fees, which will be again mentioned in your offer letter. So you just have to mention as mentioned in that letter. And then if you've taken a student loan, then all of the details regarding that. and then the maintenance funds. This is basically you have to show that you have enough money to cover your course fees and living costs, and yeah, basically enter all those details. Then comes the additional information about your application, which is if you needed to add more information about your application but were not able to, then you can write it here. So you can write that, but it's not necessary for you to do that. And then just check your answers. And then comes the differentiation arrangement, which is if you're a national of differentiation arrangement country. So it will have like hyperlinks, so you can go and check if your country has that, and then accordingly you can just select yes or no. And then comes the documents showing the required maintenance funds. So for this I entered my bank name and the type of document, which was for me a letter from the bank, which is called a solvency certificate. And again, check your answers. And then this mentions the mandatory documents that you need to carry. Now, if you want to have that document checklist, I've already made a video on that last week, so you can just go and check out whatever you need. It's mentioned in that video. And yeah, it just basically says your passport, your statements from a personal bank or birth certificate and country, like the passport, identity card and official letter, and also like a consent letter from your parents, and any qualification documents that you've submitted to get your CAS. Now you can just say over here that I confirm that I understand and accept these conditions. And then declaration, which is I am the applicant aged 18 or over. That will be the appropriate one for you if you're applying it from your name. And then you just have to pay your immigration health surcharge, and then it's basically just going to the IHS website, just paying that, pay your visa fees as well. Then if anything in red highlights, you just have to add that kind of information into your application. And then collection of your BRP, which is again a document that you need to stay over here in the UK. And for that you actually need to like enter your postcode and everything like that, which will be your address, and it will like generate the nearest post office that you need to go and collect your BRP as well. But now I'm not really sure how it is going to change, because they've stopped issuing the BRP, like the physical copies, and they've just started to mention e-visas everywhere. But if they give you this option, then obviously provide that, otherwise they will guide you through the e-visa process. And that is basically all you need to apply for your online visa application. And it is pretty simple, and it usually has the hyperlinks and everything. And if you have any questions, then you can just leave them in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So I really hope that this video helped you. And if you have any questions regarding the appointment day, I've made a video on it like a few years ago, and you can just check it out over here. And it's basically like an appointment day explained in detail. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I really hope this video helped you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give this video a huge like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.